NFL scouts believe that Penn State's defensive end Abdul Carter is one of the best players in this upcoming class. And today we're going to break down this guy's tape. We're going to get into what makes this guy such a great football player and why some people actually have him compared to Micah Parsons. When I put the tape on of Abdul Carter, you definitely see a ton of Micah Parsons on tape. A big part of what Carter does is he utilizes that quickness and that speed. But he also pairs it up with elite movement, and I think that movement is what some people compare to Micah Parsons. You look at this play here, he's going up against Wyatt Milliams. Some people think Milliams is one of the top offensive linemen in this class. You're going to see Carter Hesis on Milliams. He's going to fake to the outside before jumping back to the inside. And the movement he's going to show here on tape is absolutely incredible. Fakes outside, jumps inside. You're also going to see him with the left hand swipe the inside arm of Milliams. The right arm comes over the top. And this is a winning rep right here by Carter. He's going to generate pressure on the quarterback. And you pretty much see this play in, play out with a guy like Carter, where he's using that quickness to be able to beat the offensive lineman in front of him. One of the best traits that Abdul Carter flashes on tape is going to be the movement and how he's able to change direction. And I want to kind of touch on that a little bit because you see plays like this where he does a really good job being able to change direction. He's going to do a really good job putting that right foot into the ground. He's going to slant towards the inside. He's going to also rip, and that's going to work perfectly. And with that, he's going to be able to make the play on this one. But to me, the fact that this guy's able to move as well as he does allows him to have a lot of success. Take this next play here as an example against Notre Dame. Abdul Carter's going to go up against the right tackle on this one, and look at how quickly he's going to be able to beat this guy utilizing that quickness and that speed. Now, a part of this play I think is going to go overlooked is the fact that within this play, as soon as Carter's going to get out of his stance, he's going to actually take an inside angle before he jumps back to the outside. And people are going to overlook this. As you get out of your stance here, you can take a wide angle. You can take a not so wide angle. You can even take an inside angle if you really wanted to. But Carter's going to start this by attacking directly towards the right tackle. And the reason why this is important is because when the tackle's in a three-point stance, he has that right hand under the ground. Carter understands the tackle's not going to be able to make up ground as long as Carter attacks him straight up. And as Carter's going to go directly towards number 59 here, notice how Carter's going to end up jumping to the outside. He's going to bend. He's going to make himself skinny. And he's also going to end up ripping and pinning that right arm right there. And with that, he's going to be able to generate pressure, and he's going to get the right hand on the quarterback, and he's going to end up knocking this pass incomplete. To me, this is such a great rep by Abdul Carter. And to me, it just shows how Abdul Carter understands the speed that he has. That quickness, that ability to shift, change your direction in the middle of your pass rush. To me, Abdul Carter has absolutely elite movement. And it's a part of why I think he's going to end up becoming a top 5 pick. Truth be told, he might be the first defensive player off the board. This guy has the potential to become an absolute superstar pretty much from the time he takes the field in his very first preseason game in the NFL. Carter is such a great football player, and when you put the tape on, the tape does not lie. This guy's the absolute real deal. I do want to talk a little bit more about his pass rush, and I want to show you guys some of the moves that this guy has flashed on tape. Now, of course, before we actually fully get into the different pass rush techniques that Abdul Carter utilizes, we got to talk about the get off. You probably won't find guys with better get offs than what Carter has kind of flashed on tape. You see it if you really slow it down, just how quick this guy is out of his stance. Let's go ahead and slow this play down a little bit. So on this play here, just keep an eye on Carter and just look at how explosive he is. To me, this is absolutely incredible. And you can tell, like, as soon as the center snaps the football, Carter's out of there, and he's pretty much moving before even the offensive tackle moves. He's the first guy that's out of his stance, even among the Penn State defensive linemen. And the guy comes upfield as well, right? So to me, the get off alone is going to translate to him actually being able to kind of get home, right? Because as an offensive tackle, if you can't match that get off that this guy has, you're going to have absolutely no chance. Now, of course, part of the pass rush plan that this guy has starts with the get off. The second thing that Abdul Carter does really well is he Hesis pretty much on every single pass rush, and I kind of want to talk about that because it's a big part of this guy's game. So on this one here, he's going to obviously slant to the inside. He's going to go up against the left guard on this one. As soon as he squares this guy up, notice how Abdul Carter is going to basically fake to the inside, and he's going to change direction after he goes inside, and he's going to come back outside. So that's a part of what Carter does a ton. Now, of course, he's going to pair that up with the right hand swat, left arm over the top, also referred to as a swim move. Some people call it an arm over. And to me, this is a part of what Carter's able to do on tape. It starts with the Hesis, and then he pairs that up with the second move. And I'll show you guys a couple more examples of that Hesis paired up with a couple different moves. But it's what allows Abdul Carter to be an absolute disruptive force, right? It's what allows him to get after the quarterback consistently. Here's another one where you're going to get Carter going up against the left guard. And once again, it's going to be the same exact thing. He's going to Hesis to the inside. He's going to, on this one, double hand swipe. and he's going to end up pressuring the quarterback. Let's break this play down. We'll slow it down so it's a little bit easier to see. Also want to show you guys kind of how that Hesis move impacts these offensive linemen, because I think this one here definitely shows that. On this one here, you can tell that Carter's going to fake it towards the inside. He's going to jump back to the outside. But that fake move right there, as soon as he does it, you can see the offensive lineman kind of freezes. And you can see that the hands kind of almost come outwards to try to catch Carter. And with that, as soon as he fakes to the inside, the offensive lineman leans a little bit forward. The hands come up, and Carter's going to straight up just swap the hands, and he's going to be able to hit the corner. And then with that, after he swipes the hands, hits the corner, the left hand's going to come up. It's almost like a rip move, but he's not going to get into the body. Instead, he's going to just keep it on the hands. That's going to allow him to hit that corner. And with that, no offensive lineman's going to be able to stop Abdul Carter from getting to the quarterback. On this one here, you got another one where he's going to end up beating the left tackle. This one happens so quickly that unless you slow it down, you don't even really see what this guy does. But this is another pass rush move that he goes to. It's almost like a ghost move with the left hand. But really, it's to just kind of keep the distance between him and the offensive lineman. He's going to put the left hand up. Really, it's going to be the right hand that does most of the work. And you can see that as soon as this right hand lands, the offensive lineman goes forward. And on this one, it's so clear because this left tackle ends up into the ground. To me, this is such a great job by Abdul Carter. And again, unless you slow it down, you almost miss it because it happens so quickly. You can see that the offensive lineman is going to put the left hand into Carter. Carter's going to swat that down with the right hand. And that's going to send the offensive lineman going forward. Keep in mind, this is a screen play. There's no reason why Carter should be able to get to the quarterback as quickly as he does, but just a really, really good job by Abdul Carter. Here's another one, once again with Carter. He's going to Hesis to the inside. He's going to bend the corner, just a straight up speed move, and he just straight up beats the tackle. Absolutely beautiful job right here by Carter. Let's break this play down a little bit. Let's slow it down and really get into what exactly this guy does. So once again, as soon as he gets out of his stance here, he's going to fake to the inside. You see that head movement. You see the Hesis to the inside. It's going to make the offensive lineman freeze just a little bit. The offensive lineman's going to put his hands up. He's going to at least start to load up to maybe make some sort of contact with Carter. But really, it's a speed move to the outside. So the Hesis move is really just a fake to the inside. Jumps outside. And then look at him straight up just bend the corner. He's going to drop the shoulder pads, bend, stay up, and absolutely beats this guy. I mean, to me, this is absolutely incredible by Abdul Carter. Shows that athleticism, the speed, the quickness, and that ability to bend the corner and get after the quarterback. I think Carter's one of those guys that there is literally no chance of this guy busting out. This guy has so much upside based off of what we've seen in college that if he's able to just continue to develop from a weight perspective, maybe add a little bit of muscle as he kind of gets used to that game speed, this guy's going to be very, very difficult to block. In terms of movement, I think there's probably only one other guy that moves just the way this guy does, and that's obviously going to be Micah Parsons, who a lot of people do compare Carter to. And of course, you can just watch the tape. I mean, this guy basically looks like Micah Parsons out there. Now, of course, Parsons is doing it at the highest level, and he's obviously one of the top 2 or 3 guys at that position as well. So Carter will have to kind of prove himself at that next level. But in my opinion, what we see on tape already with this guy is definitely going to translate. Just the way he locks in with some of these offensive linemen, the way he's able to beat these guys, just how quickly he's able to get to the quarterback, it's special. Now, of course, some people are going to question, is Abdul Carter good enough to be able to play the run in the NFL? And I think he definitely is, right? One of the things we got to realize is there's no one way to defend the run. Of course, people are going to say, hey, you got to be able to set the front side gap. You got to be able to take these offensive tackles on at some point, and that is true. But generally speaking, what Carter does against the pass rush is something that could also be applied against the run. And here's a great example of that. So you're going to get an inside zone towards the left. So this offensive tackle just has to block out Abdul Carter and make sure that Carter does not beat him to the outside or to the inside and disrupt this play. The play is really meant to go to the inside hip of this offensive lineman here as he steps out and starts to block as well. And it's really meant to actually hit somewhere towards the right? This play is not meant to go to the left. But of course, what Carter's going to do is he's going to end up just straight up juking the left tackle. He's going to just straight up utilizing the Hesis towards the outside. He's going to fake out, come back inside, and he's going to just straight up be able to get in there and make the play. And this is the quickness that Abdul Carter has, and this right here is going to directly translate into him being able to defend the run. In fact, there's multiple plays like this where he uses his quickness, where he's going to use that quickness to be able to defeat the block in front of him. Here's another one. This time you're going to get an outside zone. Abdul Carter's on the front side, and he's going to just straight up beat this offensive tackle right away, and he's basically going to end up blowing up the entire play. In my opinion, the offensive tackle here has a pretty difficult block to try to reach Carter, But truth be told, if you're able to make this defensive end go to the inside, most of the time that's a positive, right? Because you're able to technically just flip the hips and stop this guy, which gives the running back the outside lane. Now, of course, the unfortunate thing with this offensive tackle is Carter is a lot faster than the average defensive end. So if Carter takes the inside gap, he is so quick that he's going to actually end up meeting the running back in the backfield before the running back can bounce it all the way to the outside. So again, to me, very, very good job here by Carter. The quickness, the ability to kind of utilize the pass rush technique, the hands, it's going to translate into the run game. Because on this one, not only is he using that quickness and he's beating this guy to the inside, but you also see the hands. He's going to end up swiping the offensive tackle on this one. You see the right hand swipes, left arm kind of comes over the top, and then he sets himself up in the backfield, and there's just nowhere the running back's going to be able to go. Just a really, really good rep here by Carter. Now, of course, as we also see with this pass rush, how much that speed impacts things and how much that speed really allows him to kind of get after the quarterback. It also translates into the run game, where multiple times on tape, you're going to see this guy just beat the reach block because he's so quick and he's so fast. Now, of course, I think a part of utilizing a guy like Carter is to put him in position to have success. And what I mean by that is this. With a guy like Abdul Carter, if you line him up on the outside and say, hey, you have the outside containment and that's all your responsibility is within this play, as a defensive coordinator, you're doing the wrong thing. Instead, what you should do is say, we're going to put Carter in different spots. We're going to have him shoot these gaps. Maybe we put him at inside linebacker and have him shoot a gap here or run some sort of game here. And essentially, you're going to use a guy like Carter in multiple different places, similarly to the way we see the Dallas Cowboys utilizing Micah Parsons. Specifically, it was Dan Quinn over the past couple of years that was utilizing him a certain way. But that's how you have to use a guy like Carter. Don't put him in a base situation and have him play a base position, because that's not where you're going to get the best value out of a guy like Carter. Right? You want this guy to play multiple positions because that's going to allow him to have a ton of success, and it also makes it very difficult for an offensive line to be able to block a guy like Carter. Right? It makes it hard for a team to know exactly where this guy is pretty much before every single play begins. In my opinion, I absolutely love Abdul Carter. I think there's a real chance by the time this guy gets into the NFL, arguably within the first 3 or 4 weeks, this guy's going to become one of the better players in the NFL at that position. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time with another video.